In May 2005, the Radio NHCWX team met up in Tampa, Florida for the first time at the 2005 Florida Governor's Hurricane Conference. Interviewed some very important people in the weather world, including National Hurricane Center Director Max Mayfield and Colorado State University climatologist Dr. William Gray.
After you graduated from George Washington University with your undergraduate degree, what led you to your PhD in weather?
Well, the Korean War was on, and I was going to enter service, and I had graduated, had enough math and physics classes in my undergraduate that I qualified for the Air Force officer program, and they took you in, made you an officer, and sent you to the university for a year's training. I was sent to the University of Chicago for a year, and very extensive meteorology training. They don't have that anymore, I don't think, where we had 4 courses a quarter for 4 straight quarters, and we had long labs and stuff. So I feel like that that was the year 1953-4. I got a lot of very good training there. Then I went and was a forecaster in the Air Force for 3.5 years following that, and then I went back to Chicago and started graduate work. I never knew I would wind up doing what I'm doing here. That's for sure.
It was great to meet everybody at the radio station in Tampa. We covered it well. We got as much information as we could. We took all the information we got as a person there from the forecasters like Stacey Stewart, Max Mayfield, Dr. Gray, and we tried to put it in people's terms, and we sent it back to everybody at Radio NHCWX that listens to us. It was great to meet everybody. It was great to hear all the commentary from all the people at the conference and the interviews that we got, and it was great to bring all of that information that we got from that to the people that listened to us, and it felt good that people were relying on us for that information. We did a great job in Tampa Bay. It was great to meet everybody at the station. It was a fun opportunity. It was an opportunity for all of us to meet each other, and it was, I don't know other words to describe it. We got a lot of information out of it. We got our word out also from Radio NHCWX. We got known a little bit more, and that's what it's all about. We keep getting known, and what's happening is all these storms are making us get known. And so it was great to meet everybody. It was great to bring all the information from that conference to our listeners.
Those really were watershed moments for the station. I think the 2005 conference. In 2006, we at the station put a lot of effort into the conferences there, the national as well as the Florida Governors. And then again in 2007, there we were in Fort Lauderdale.
I'm Mike Naso from Internet Partnership Radio and the Tropical Roundtable here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida for the 2007 Florida Governors Hurricane Conference. It's pretty hot and muggy here, but there are no storms around us, at least not impacting us. But there will be storms later this year, especially tropical storms and hurricanes. And that has been the main focus of the conference. As many people know, awareness and preparedness is what we need to take action on. Today I had the pleasure of interviewing Hurricane Center Director Bill Parenza, and we talked a lot about how people should be prepared for the upcoming season, as well as his thoughts on evacuations and emergency preparedness. Tonight at 9 p.m., Charlie Wilson and Michael Moss will have the Center of Circulation with a special interview from Jeff Bartell from Florida Power and Light. We'll have interviews throughout the week, so stay tuned to IPR365.com and podweather.com.
The 2007 conferences were all about coming to terms and trying to grasp what had transpired in the 2005 season. 2006 was a very inactive season for the Atlantic Basin, and that kind of gave us all a chance to catch our breath and say, okay, what's next on the agenda? And the 2007 conferences kind of gave us a chance to look back at 2005 more than even the 2006 conferences did. If you remember, we still had Tropical Storm Zeta when we got all the way in the Greek alphabet in January 2006. That was part of the 2005 hurricane season. And so that really knocked us off our feet. And so in 2007 we kind of regrouped. We had more participation. Charlie Wilson was there. Eric Dunn was there. That was a great opportunity to not only get together and have a good time in Florida, but also to kind of just reflect on what had occurred in the previous hurricane seasons. And that season wouldn't bring much for the United States other than Hurricane Humberto, Category 1 for Texas, in that September. But of course we had our 2 Category 5 storms, Dean and then Hurricane Felix. And then that set us up for 2008. 2008 brought a very destructive hurricane season, and we had the sense when we were there in 2008 that something was coming. And indeed, we did have very significant hurricanes. Ike comes to mind, of course, as well as Hurricane Gustav. But we really just continued to focus on the fact that so many people come to the coastline every single year that have no clue whatsoever about the threat of hurricanes. They end up buying a house right on the beach along an area that maybe 60, 70 years ago got slammed by a Category 4 hurricane, which we know will happen again someday, but when it happens next time it's going to seem unbelievable because there was nothing there last time it happened. And so I think at these conferences, our goal is just to interview the meteorologists, interview the emergency managers, try and get the word out, like Zach said, just to get better known and to help people know the preparations that they need to have in their mind to have that plan of action for when a hurricane does come their way. And I think the conferences play a significant role in that.
I'm Mike Naso from Internet Partnership Radio in Upper Matecumbe Key, Florida, where 76 years ago a Category 5 hurricane roared ashore. This monument contains the remains of over 300 people who perished in this frightening storm. The central pressure was 892 millibars, the lowest pressure ever observed in the United States. Winds howled sustained at 185 miles an hour, gusting to over 220 miles an hour. If this same storm hit today, obviously population growth is way up, residency is way up, but the devastation would be the same.
We've been at the Florida Governor's Conference with Governor Bush. We've been there with Governor Christ. We've been there with Governor Scott. Through 3 different administrations, the governor of Florida has spoke at those conferences, at least at the ones we've covered, and the message is always the same. You never know if this is going to be another 2004. You never know if this will be another year where Florida gets hit 6 ways from Sunday, and people need to be prepared. This is stuff we need to show that people might not be able to see without the media and without these conferences being covered. That these are men and women who dedicate their life to making sure people are prepared for hurricanes. And it's really a great opportunity to just get out there and make sure people are prepared.